Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today for another video. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the 3 champions that are getting buffed in June, and that's War Machine, Ebony Maw, and Ultron. So the leaks were actually correct, and yeah, these are some pretty awesome buffs. We're going to get into all 3 in today's video. We're going to start with Ebony Maw, so let's go ahead and jump right into that. So yeah, here we got the changes. So this was from Kabam Broccoli. He kind of just wrote down some of the changes, so we're going to go over that. And then for the other 2 champions, we're going to look in a spotlight and read their fresh ability, because the other 2 champions have a lot of added stuff. So we'll get to that. We'll save War Machine for last. His is a complete overhaul, a lot of new abilities in there. So let's get started. So Ebony Maw is getting an HP base increase by 7%, an attack increase by 8%, physical resistance increase by 15%. So his kit. So mission, degen damage increased significantly and changed to base attack only to 320% base attack from 30% modified attack. Persistent charges gained, changed to gain 1 per fight up to a maximum of 4, previously 5 per fight up to a maximum of 20. Each PV now grants the benefit of previous resource deterioration, and that mechanic has been removed completely. Fury potency down. Each PV now increases degen duration by 10%, max 40% increase. This is a new mechanic. So that's for each persistent charge. At 4, you're gonna have a 40% increase in degen damage, or in degen duration. So focus time changed to 7 seconds from 5 seconds. However, now focusing also reduces ability power rate by 50%. Rip Terak starting with power. Time to persuade increased from 0.6 from 0.5. Black Tongue now grants 40% attack rating, which is great. Like, the big problem with Ebony Maw is his damage, and this buff is really going to help with that damage and actually even give him a little bit more utility, which is great. So while Black Tongue is active, now inflict the falter debuff every 15 seconds. This is a new mechanic, because before, once you got Black Tongue up, you know, they stopped getting the falters. So Fury buff granted to the opponent from Special 1 now lasts 10 seconds. Previously it was 6 seconds. Why that's good is because the Fury doesn't give the opponent, it's a 0% attack increasing Fury, but you want to give the opponent the Fury buff so that you can nullify it, so that you can complete your missions to gain persistent charges to increase your degen duration. But you know, in matchups where the opponent just doesn't gain buffs, you can't nullify any buffs because they don't gain any buffs, but this way you can give them a buff so that you can nullify it, which is good, and it's just going to last longer, so more time to nullify it. Special 2, degen is now inflicted on each hit, 3 total rather than only once, and its damage is increased to 129% modified attack from 30% modified attack. That's a big damage increase. Special 2 now inflicts 2 additional degens if the opponent is faltered, 9 total degens if falter lasts for the whole Special 2. This is a new mechanic, so if you time your Special 2 correctly with falter, you can get even more degen damage now, which is awesome. And the Special 2 last hit now refreshes any falter debuffs on the opponent. This is a new mechanic, and if timed right, can usually result in high degen damage followed by faltering the opponent's follow-up special attack. And Special 3, Power Steal now steals 40% of the opponent's power, previously 35%. And Sig, while the opponent is faltered, reduce auto block ability accuracy by 100% and gain up to 40% ability power rate, power gain outside hits and structs, such as Power Steal on heavier Special 3. This is a new mechanic. So that's what Ebony Maw's got. It sounds like he's going to get a lot of attack increase, which is what the Squid needed, man. Squidward finally going to be able to maybe not hit like a noodle. Very excited to see that. And it just sounds like he's got more utility. It's going to be like funner to play as well. So I'm really excited to try him out. Actually, I'm a 6-star as well. So yeah, I'm excited. Now let's go ahead and move on to Ultron. Alright guys, now moving on to Ultron. I'm really excited for Ultron to be buffed because, you know, he's an Avenger level threat. Like, he had a whole movie dedicated to him in the MCU. Like, he should be a beast of a character, you know? So let's get into his buff, man. So we're going to skip over some of this stuff. So all the stats and everything is based on a rank 5, level 65, 5-star champ, so always active. Advanced robotics cause Ultron's function abilities to have a 100% chance to trigger and to be unaffected by ability accuracy. Additionally, Ultron is immune to bleed, poisoned, and now slow effects. So it seems like you're not going to be able to lower Ultron's function ability accuracy. So he's going to work, you know, he's going to trigger those abilities no matter who he's facing, which is a good thing. And they changed the way his evade works. So one of his functions is now evade. Every 7 seconds, evade all incoming attacks for 1.5 seconds. Dev note, Ultron's evade now has an icon to display it, making it easier to track when it will trigger, but we've also increased the duration. So that's interesting. I like that there's an icon now, because when fighting Ultron, his evade is so random. It's so annoying. Like, I prefer fighting the Labyrinth Ultron because his evade isn't random. Like, you know when it's going to trigger, because it's consistent. But this Ultron, man, it's so random. Like, so that's really nice that there's an icon now. So when health drops below 50% and 25%, function heal. Once per fight, gain a self-repair buff healing 8,000 health over 10 seconds. If stunned while self-repair is active, connection is lost, and the self-repair is removed. So he still's got that regen, which is great. Like, Ultron, he has so much potential. Like, immunities, regen, he's just lacking the damage, and that's going to be fixed, which I'm excited for. So some more functions here. So all attacks. So function critical. Every 5th attack is guaranteed critical hit. Function damage. Every 3rd attack inflicts a bleed debuff, causing 1,300, almost 1,400 direct damage over 6 seconds. If the target is mutant, instead inflict a matching degeneration debuff, which is cool. Dev note, those pesky mutant champions won't be able to slip away from Ultron's damage over time. Blocking function armor. Every 4th blocked attack grants an armor up buff. When I first saw that, I'm like, okay, that's okay, every 4 attacks, but then it gets better. So, and this provides 370 armor rating for 30 seconds, but well-timed blocks count as 4 blocked attacks for this purpose. So 1 parry, boom, you get the armor up buff, which is great. So next up we have heavy attack. Triggers function damage for each unique function Ultron has utilized during this fight. Cooldown 5 seconds per unique function utilized during this fight. So I guess the heavy attack is just gonna inflict bleed, because this one's also damage, I guess, and it's more for based on how much other functions you've triggered. That sounds interesting. You're gonna want to use that at the right time, I think right before a special attack. So launching a special attack, function cauterize, remove all effects from the opponent caused by Ultron's function damage, so any degen or bleed. Gain 1,100 attack rating for each effect removed this way for the duration of the special attack. Dev note, pair this with a well-timed special 2 and heavy attack to get a massive amount of bleed damage or fury. So yeah, you want to time a heavy attack, get all those effects, then use a special attack to cauterize them and get a fat special. So special 1, Encephalo Ray, am I saying that right? Function stun, and stun debuff lasting 2 seconds. I guess if you need to stun, I'm probably not going to be using the special 1 too much with Ultron. So special 2, attack routine. The attack bonus granted by function cauterize lingers for 10 seconds after this attack is finished. That's nice. You get in some big basic attacks after. Any function damage debuffs triggered during this attack are doubled. That's cool. Dev note, make sure to time this well with when your next function damage will trigger for maximum damage. And special 3, eradication. So function stun, inflict a stun debuff, lasting for 3.5 seconds, and then function burn. I love this. This is new. Inflicts power burn, draining 2 bars of power and dealing direct damage proportional to the power drained. I love when characters get power control. Oh my god, so great. Really glad to see this. I wish he had it on the special 2, but that would probably be a bit too much. But yeah, now that he has some power control on the special 3, that's really great. Love to see that. And then he still has a similar signature ability, but there's another piece added to it. So signature ability is absorption, energy damage effects, attacks that deal energy damage cause Ultron to regenerate 65.96% of the damage dealt to him. Each energy base attack also grants Ultron a burst of power based on the damage dealt. So, like, when you're fighting Ultron with, like, Doctor Strange, for example, that's a terrible matchup. He just regens so much of the damage dealt because all of Doctor Strange's basic attacks are energy damage. But that's usually only when you're fighting Ultron. That's really a problem. Not too much when you're using him. But now the signature ability also grants incoming incinerate and shock effects suffer minus 80% duration. So that is cool. So he'll be a better option if he has to deal with some kind of incinerate or shock effect. So those are the big changes to Ultron. We got a couple synergies that got updated here. This one with Mcoc. Ultron gains 200% critical damage rating and 10% perfect block chance. And then we got some recommended masteries, deep wounds, and suicides essentially. So Ultron, I'm pretty excited for this buff. It sounds like you can get some pretty awesome damage going if you time your cauterizations and special attacks right. And he just sounds like he's got more utility. I really actually like, I think one of the more underrated things in this update is his armor function. Every parry, you're going to be getting those armor ups, and they last for 30 seconds. So if you can really stack those up easily, that's going to make your block proficiency pretty solid. I'm not sure if you can stack them like really quickly and if they have a cap or anything, but I think that actually has a lot of potential. And yeah, just now he has power control and damage. He's still got his regen, still got his immunities and a new immunity to slow. And it feels like you'll be able to actually play with his evade more on offense because it lasts for 1.5 seconds to evade all incoming attacks. That should include special attacks as well. So, I mean, if you can play with that correctly, yeah, I think he's got a lot of potential. So I'm really excited for the Ultron buff. Now let's go ahead and move on to War Machine. Alright guys, last but not least, we come to War Machine, the complete overhaul. War Machine, not the best champion in the game by any means. So let's take a look. So some of his basic abilities are now Armor, Suppression, Rupture, and Armor Break. So strengths, teamwork. War Machine's pre-fight abilities give him a new way to help buff his fellow tech attackers. Power control. War Machine has a sizable amount of defensive combat power rate down with his special one. Stack it to the max and refresh them with his heavy attack to keep the opponent's power under control. Weakness is debuff shrug and physical resistance. So let's get into these new abilities. Start the fight with an indefinite armor up buff, increasing armor rating by 3,575. That is a fat armor up buff, dude. That's a lot. So you should have some pretty good blocking capability now. So persistent charge, max 5. War Machine begins each quest with 2 persistent charges. Charges can be spent in the pre-fight screen to activate 1 or more armory boosts found below. Each boost lasts 1 fight, doesn't stack, and can be used by War Machine or any other tech champions. Winning a fight with War Machine grants 1 additional charge plus 1 additional charge for each other tagged hero champions on the team. So armory boosts, pre-fight ability. Tech attackers gain plus 10% attack rating when an armory boost is active. Support gain 2 cleanse charges when champions with cleanse are inflicted with a debuff. It is immediately purified and a cleanse charge is removed. Fortify gain energy resistance equal to their armor rating. Skirmish gain up to 276 attack rating based on current armor rating, and their debuffs excluding stuns gain plus 20% duration. So this is pretty cool. These, I can definitely see a lot of scenarios where these are going to come in handy. Those cleanse charges could be insanely useful for purifying suicides, or if there's some type of debuff being applied on a node right at the start. This has a lot of potential just for support capabilities. And I was actually thinking, it actually just clicked in my mind, the Fortify one, gain energy resistance equal to their armor rating. If you actually gave that to War Machine, that would give him a lot of energy resistance, over 3,000 energy resistance right off the bat. Then you could maybe fight like Magic or something, because all her damage is energy. I'm not sure, probably wouldn't be the best option, but just gaining all that energy resistance could be useful in a lot of matchups. So I think that's cool. A lot of potential. Gives me some White Magneto vibes, I don't think it'll be quite as useful. This gets a little bit more limited to the tech class, but definitely got some really good good stuff in there, man. Excited to see how people use that over the contest. There's so many possibilities where this could be used. So dev notes: War Machine's pre-fight provides great utility for different spots around the contest. I love using the cleanse charges in a matchup where I know there will be some debuffs I need to get rid of ASAP. So heavy attack refreshes all personal debuffs excluding stuns on the opponent to cool down 20 seconds. Special attacks: advanced auto targeting prevents the opponent from using evade. Cool, so your special attacks will never be evaded. That's always great. So special one, Blast Barrage. The minigun suppressing fire grants each shot 100% chance to inflict a suppression debuff, reducing combat power rate by 10% for 10 seconds. This effect applies on blocked hits, max stacks 5. So you can lower the opponent's combat power rate by 50% with special 1, and then you can refresh it with a heavy attack, which is cool. So for each armor break debuff on the opponent, each shot has a 60% chance to inflict a rupture debuff, each dealing 1300 physical damage over 5.5 seconds. The chance to rupture increased by 60% for each armor break debuff on the opponent. So each suppression debuff also applied also removes 1 prowess effect from the opponent. Dev note, I normally try to pair the special attack with both the Fury from the special 3 and the debuff refresh from his heavy attack to get as much damage as possible from the special 1 rupture debuffs. Special 2, shoulder artillery, 100% chance to inflict an armor break debuff, removing an armor up buff and reducing armor rating by 3,150 for 30 seconds. That's a pretty fat armor break debuff. Max stack 2, and it lasts for 30 seconds. And remember, the heavy attack is able to refresh any debuff, all personal debuffs, excluding stuns. And the cooldown is only 20 seconds. So as long as you're able to use your heavy attack, you'll be able to keep this armor break up perpetually forever, and it stacks up to 2. So you can keep it up forever. That's 2 really big armor breaks, dude. That's going to increase your damage by a lot. That is awesome. So Dev notes, the core of War Machine's kit, most of his abilities will gain bonuses based on the number of armor breaks on the opponent. Make sure to stack as many as you can. So special 3, heavy ordnance, 100% chance to inflict a stun debuff lasting 3.5 seconds. Should be a great opportunity to go ahead and apply or to use a heavy attack as long as the opponent's not stun immune after the special 3. Gain a Fury passive, increasing attack rating by 1200 for 30 seconds. Each armor break on the opponent will grant War Machine an additional Fury passive. Dude, you just stack up those armor breaks, which already are giving you a ton of damage increase, and then you use a special 3, you get a Fury passive and even more Fury passives for the amount of armor breaks, and then you have the Furies and the armor breaks. Your damage is going to be pretty big, man. Dev notes here, it's possible for War Machine to deal tons of damage when you've got a few armor breaks stacked up. You'll be seeing some big yellow numbers after a well-used special 3. So it sounds awesome. And then we got the signature ability, Empty the Clip, but with a new twist. So when brought below 15% max health, War Machine activates his Empty the Clip routine to do the following. Gain 12 passive Furies, each granting around 360 attack rating. These effects are lost as War Machine lands attacks, and gain 12 regeneration passives, each recovering 1200 health over 15 seconds. These effects are lost as War Machine is struck. So War Machine has regen now, which is fantastic, man, for using him offensively, which makes sense because, you know, like all the Iron Mans have some type of arc overload ability, and then War Machine, you know, he's got an Iron Man suit, but he doesn't get regen. Like, what? Is his arc reactor working okay? So that's great that he finally has regen now. And Dev notes, the tried and true Empty the Clip, a fresh look to a classic ability. So yeah, man, I think War Machine has a lot of potential, a lot more damage, and some pretty solid utility with the suppression, the armor breaks, the ruptures. I'm really excited for War Machine, man. It sounds like you can get some pretty awesome damage with him. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then some synergy bonuses here. I don't know if any of these are new or changed, but let's take a look at them. So with Surfer, Gamora, and Heimdall, War Machine in a fight with support, boost active, gain 2 additional cleanse charges. Okay. Other champions gain 25% buff duration. Could be good for Surfer. Let's see, this one with Hulkbuster, Guardian, Civil Warrior, War Machine gain plus 25% block proficiency while blocking special attacks. That's pretty good. What else we got? Ruptures gain 25% potency. Okay. Anything else? Get some perfect block chance, some more perfect block chance, some critical rating, some armor rating. Okay. And then recommended masteries here, Collar Tech. Oh yeah, I only have like I think 1 point unlocked in Collar Tech, but I could see it being really useful with War Machine. Reduce the opponent's power even more with the combined suppression debuffs on War Machine Special 1. And then also Despair. Well, he might not have in his base kit, War Machine has a ton of debuffs, so Despair will help a ton in healing matchups for sure. Once you get those armor breaks up, that alone, 2 armor breaks would be minus 30% healing with Despair, and then all the suppressions, you could easily get it to 100, not to mention the ruptures as well. So yeah, I think War Machine has a lot of potential. So that's going to do it for the 3 champions that are getting buffed, guys. Let me know which one of the 3 you are most excited for. Personally, I don't know. I think personally, War Machine, just to kind of see that damage once you fully ramp him up, I think I'm most excited to see that. But I'm also really excited for Ultron now that he has some power control, and I'm really interested to see if you can get some really big damage off of him as well. And just Ebony Maw just being an all-around much better champion. That's very exciting. I hope 2 buffs is enough to make Ebony Maw good. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below which one you are most excited for. Let me know if you have any of these guys as a 6-star. I think I have Maw as a 6-star. I think I have Ultron as a 6-star. And then I don't have War Machine as a 5 or a 6-star, unfortunately. I feel like a lot of people are in that same boat. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy the breakdown. Peace out.